So after more than 3 years, guys, we finally have some items dropping from this collaboration between Adidas and Fear of God. So in today's video, guys, we're gonna have a look at what I would say the cheapest pair of shoes coming from this collaboration. Hello guys, and welcome back for a brand new review. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing and also giving me a like. It will really help out the channel. You can also give me a follow on Instagram and TikTok to see exactly what I'm gonna review in the next few days. In today's video, guys, as I just said, we're gonna have a look at finally the first release coming from Adidas and Fear of God. So let's go ahead and take them out of the box, guys, which as you can see will come actually in a very interesting box. And this one was actually boxed in another shell which had no branding whatsoever. So as you can see, the box is actually quite minimal. You just need to take off this lid, which on top will have these 3 stripes which are actually rubberized, so most definitely the premium vibe it's out there. As you can see, on both sides of this lid we're gonna have this rubberized Adidas and the Fear of God lettering, which yet again is looking quite nice. So opening this box, guys, inside we're also gonna have a very nice wrapping paper in this cream color, which will have the Adidas and Fear of God lettering yet again. So let's go ahead and finally take the first release, guys, coming from Adidas and the Fear of God, and this one will be the Rivalry 86 Low Athletics. So this one, guys, dropped at least here in the UK just last week on the 4th of December for the retail price of £170, which will be around $200 or even 200 euros, which most definitely makes this one actually a very expensive pair of shoes. And besides this one, we had another more expensive one, which was the Basketball 1 release, which was coming at £220 or 250 US. And besides these 2 pairs of shoes, we're also gonna have some clothing as well, which most definitely are retailing somewhere between 200 and 350 pounds or US, which for sure it's actually a very expensive line coming from this collaboration between Adidas and Fear of God. But at least we have it released, guys, after more than 3 years since the actual split between Jerry Lorenzo and Nike. And I need to admit that straight out of the box, guys, this release is looking quite nice, but in the same time I was expecting this one to be slightly a bit cheaper and also lightweight, which obviously is not going to be the case, but at least for the money we are getting quite good materials. So let's go ahead and also do a breakdown of this one, guys. So as expected, guys, coming from Jerry Lorenzo, the design for this one is actually quite sleek and very nice. So for this upper we're gonna have this sweat material in this cream color, which actually has the same color for the whole upper. We don't actually have any contrast for this one, and in the same time we also don't have any perforation holes to give it some breathability, so for sure this at some point will be a problem. So the only branding for this upper, guys, will be the very well known 3 stripes, which will be present here in the midfoot and here at the back just above the heel section, where you're gonna have this Adidas trefoil logo pressed down in this slightly darker color. But other than that, if you don't actually know your shoes, this one will actually go unnoticed. So for the actual lacing system, guys, for this one we're gonna have these punch out holes, which will keep in place these chunky laces. So the actual shoes will come laced with this pair of brownish laces, but in the actual box we're also gonna have this off-white pair of laces, which in my opinion is looking quite nice. So these ones, as I've said, they're actually quite chunky and very long, but as you can see, for this one we're gonna have this lace tie in this brown color, which for sure will make life slightly a bit easier. So underneath these laces, guys, we're gonna have this suede tongue, but as you can see, this one just at the bottom in the actual shoe will have these extra pads, which most definitely will stay on your foot quite nice. But rather than that, the inside of the shoe, guys, it's actually quite minimal. For this one, we're gonna have this synthetic suede lining, which to be honest, it doesn't have as much padding as you would expect. So at least for me, as I have skinny feet, guys, I really feel that this ankle section has this collar slightly a bit too raised, which will actually bother my ankle section a lot. At the bottom, guys, we're also gonna have this foam insole, which yet again will have this very nice lining as the rest of the inside. So now, guys, we can go to this very interesting and very minimalistic looking design for this midsole, which will be in this creamish color, which most definitely is not gonna be as high as you would expect. I would say that the actual midsole will be around halfway, and the rest of it will just cover this suede material, which most definitely will actually be appreciated. And as you can see on the medial side, we're gonna have this carved design, which looks actually quite nice. But I would say that this one is not gonna be as squishy or flexible as you would expect. So for sure, I feel that this one will add some extra weight to this overall shoe. So as you can see, the actual two brandings which we're gonna have for this shoe will be here on the lateral side of the heel section, where you're gonna have this Adidas lettering, and also at the back of the heel section, where you're gonna have this black patch, which on top will have written "Fear of God." So now, guys, we can finish with this rubber outsole, which will have this very minimalistic design again, which will have this herringbone design. But rather than that, we don't have any other branding or other pattern. So in my opinion, this one looks quite nice. As in for the actual sizing, guys, for me, as I have skinny feet, for this one I just went with my true to size, and this one fits me just fine. But as I've said earlier, this ankle section actually feels a bit too raised, so I just had to put an extra insole just to raise slightly this footbed. But rather than that, I would say that you can actually go with your true to size for people with normal feet. But just in case you have wide feet, guys, most definitely I would suggest to go with at least a half size up, just to make sure that this front part of the shoe, which as you can see it's actually pointy, is not going to be too tight for you. So overall, guys, this brand new release coming from Adidas in collaboration with Fear of God for this 86 Rivalry Low Athletics, in my opinion, is looking quite nice, and I would say that this was actually expected. Most of the times the Fear of God releases are looking quite nice, but the only thing which bothers a lot of people is gonna be the price, which in my opinion is slightly a bit too high. And as I said earlier, this is actually the cheapest one. But for sure, the materials are nice, the designs as well. But to be honest, for that 170 pounds, I was actually expecting the level of comfort to be a bit better. Unfortunately, this one doesn't seem to give any squishiness from this midsole or even from the insole as well. As I've just said earlier, for me, as I have skinny feet, this ankle section bothers me a lot. So for me, the only thing which I could do is just put an extra insole, which I guess in a way will give me some extra comfort having two insoles. But rather than that, for the price, I really don't feel that this one is one of the most comfortable pairs out there. But for sure, the design is nice, and the materials, as I've just said, they are actually quite good. But I guess not a lot of people are impressed by this release. These ones are actually sitting on confirmed app in most of the sizes. So yeah, guys, this was my unboxing and reviewing of this brand new release coming from Adidas in collaboration with Fear of God for this Rivalry 86 Athletics. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to press the like button, maybe also subscribe to the channel. You can also give me a follow on Instagram and TikTok to see exactly what I'm gonna review in the next few days. Of course, if you want to have a look at any of my latest reviews, you can choose from any which you have now on the screen. And as always, I'll see you in my next one. Thanks for watching.